The first starting point for HCP ODP is in the HANA Cloud Platform cockpit. But I mentioned that I'm going to use the ES4 gateway system, so before we get into configurations, it's a good idea to test the scenario against the system first. So, using that link I provided in the slide, I'm going to take you to that SCN document. And if you haven't signed up before, it's super easy. You can come here and choose sign up here. I do have an account, so I'm just going to select the URL right here, and I will be prompted to log in. I'm going to enter my username and password and log into the system. So it's always good to make sure that your data is running the way that you expect, because this is going to save you a lot of time if you get to the launch pad and there's nothing displayed in your tile. If you do your homework here to make sure that there's data and you should be seeing something in your tile, then chances are if an error occurs, it's something to do with the destination or connectivity and not necessarily with the data. So that is why I'm bringing you here to show you this very quickly. So what we want to do, we're using the My Inbox app, so we want to make sure that there are workflows assigned to our user. So to do that in this system, you're going to go to Transaction, SBWP. And then we want to open up Inbox and make sure we have workflow items. I have done this a few times, so I have assigned myself items. If this is your first time ever in the system, there's a better than good chance that you are not going to have anything in your workflows. You're going to have 0. So we can easily change that by navigating to Transaction, SWXF. And here you'll be able to create your own notification of absence. And then you'll just save your entries. And then when you navigate back to Transaction, SBWP, oops, I forgot my N, you will have something in your workflows. So you only need one item, it doesn't matter, but just in case you have nothing, that's how you do it. So when I go through this video, keep in mind that we're going to want to see 4 in my Inbox tile. So I'm going to move back to my HCP cockpit. And then the first thing we want to do is we want to access the HCP ODP service. So to do that, I'm going to go to Services right here. And then I can either scroll through the services to get to integration right here, or I could use this categories drop down to integration. And obviously I want the OData provisioning service. So as part of your SAP Fiori Cloud Edition productive licensed account, you get access to this service and it should be enabled already for you. So you can see that by this lovely green sign right here that says enabled, and I'm going to select this box so that I can hop on into the service. Now, if I try to go to service here, I should get an error because I don't have any authorizations right now. I don't have anything assigning me the authorizations to access this service. So when you guys come here, this will be the first thing that'll happen to you too. So just close this out and then instead go to Configure OData Provisioning. And here you have destinations and roles. So before I can do anything, I need to assign myself an authorization. So I'm going to select roles from the left side pane, and then I'm going to highlight this gateway admin role, come down here to the individual users, select assign, and just enter my user ID and choose assign. This permission will allow me access to the service. But before leaving the screen, it also makes sense to assign myself to the gateway user role so that I'll have application permissions as well. So I'm just going to repeat the same process again and choose assign. Now that we have the roles assigned, I need to configure a destination to the ES4 system. So to do that, I'm going to choose the Destination tab. And I already have a number of destinations in here. You guys can have more than one destination if you want, but I do not have one to ES4. So I'm going to select New Destination, and I'm going to call it ES4 HTTP. You can give it a description if you want. I'm not going to. And then the URL, it's right here. So I want all of this. And I'm also going to add IWBEP to the end of the URL. The proxy type is internet, and then for authentication, I'm going to choose basic authentication, and I'm going to add the username and password that I signed up for the ES4 system with. I don't need any additional properties here, so let's just save this entry. And then after it saves for a few seconds, we should get this check connection right here, and I can use this to make sure that there's a successful connection to ES4. So that looks good. So now I'm ready to register and activate the OData service needed for the Fiori My Inbox app. So let's check this OData provisioning and the breadcrumb. And I will now choose Go to Service, which should be no problem. I have the authorization in place. And awesome. Here is the OData Provisioning Administration Cockpit. And here you can see, if this is your first time here, you're going to have an empty table. You saw all the systems that I have loaded, so I have a bunch of other stuff registered in here. Let's choose Register. And then your list of destinations is listed here. I want ES4. And you can choose this magnifying glass, and all of the services available to you will come up. Or, of course, you can search. So some of you might be wondering, well, how do I know what service I need for the My Inbox app? Well, that's easy. We can find that out from the apps reference library. So let's go to the Fiori apps library. And there's been a new feature added here, which is this filtered category for SAP Fiori apps on SAP HCP. So this will bring you to the 31 apps that we're currently supporting on the HANA Cloud platform. So you can scroll down, or we can be simple and just search for Inbox. Right here, I'll choose My Inbox. You'll want to go to Implementation Information, Configuration, and then scroll down, and right here you'll see OData Services. So this shows us here that we need the task processing OData service, and we need version 2. Version is important, so make sure some of the Fiori apps have multiple versions, so make sure that you pay attention for Fiori Cloud Edition apps to which version you need. So let's go back here and let's just search for task. And see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. We have a task processing service with version 1 and 2, and I know that I need version 2, so I'm going to select that and choose register. And then because I have so many, it is on this in alphabetical order on page 2. So you can see right here, my service is registered, and I can select this open service document here, and this is going to display the OData service and all of its collections to me. So this is a good way to check to see what your OData service contains before you get started doing anything further with it. So now that we have our service registered and activated, I know that I need to create a destination. Let me go back to my cockpit. The destination that we created here was on subscription or service level only. So in order to access this through our Launchpad, I also need to create a destination on account level, which will connect to the HCP ODP destination that I have here on subscription level. So select Fiori Cloud Edition, or whatever your name is here. Your account could be different from mine. And choose destination. And then new destination. And you can see I have ES4 listed in here, but this is just for the ES4 system. It's not for my HCP ODP. So I'm going to name this ES4 underscore ODP. My type is going to be HTTP. And then I'm going to leave the description blank. I need to enter a URL, which I have conveniently right here from where I tested it. So I'm just going to copy this out, paste this in here. Again, I'm going to choose Internet for the proxy type, and authentication, I'm going to choose App-to-App SSO. I mentioned in the beginning that for the second part of this video, we're going to go into Web IDE and consume our OData services that way. So while I'm here adding a destination, I might as well add the properties that I need for access to Web IDE. So I'm going to go here and choose Web IDE usage is OData underscore gen. And then another property is Web ID enabled. I'm going to set that to true. And then one more property, I'm going to do Web IDE system. And we're going to name that ES4 underscore ODP. And I will save these entries. So at this point, we have the task processing service for Fiori My Inbox registered. We have the destination set. So now we need to open up the Fiori Launchpad so we can look and check out what the My Inbox app looks like right now. So let me go to Services. And the Fiori Launchpad is included as part of the HANA Cloud Portal service, which is located in the User Experience section. You can see this is enabled too. So I'll select this. And then I'm going to choose Go to Service. And I'll choose Site Directory. And this is where you can come to create various Launchpad sites that you need. So I'm going to go to this Fiori Cloud Edition site. And just move this over here for simplicity. Give it a second to load. Good. And we can see that My Inbox has 0 items in it. And if you remember from earlier in the video, we needed 4 items running against my user in the ES4 system. So let's go back to our cockpit. Again, choose the home page. And this time we can go to subscriptions. And subscriptions is where all of your Fiori Cloud Edition apps will be provided to you in this subscribed HTML5 applications table. So luckily for us, we're doing My Inbox, and that happens to be the first app listed. So I'm going to select this. And you can notice right here in the required destinations table that I am currently mapping my My Inbox app to the MG1_LT destination. And we want to map it to the ES4_HCP or _ODP. So I'm going to choose Edit and then have this drop down. This will list all of my destinations. So I'm going to select the ES4ODP, choose Save, and then we'll go back up here to our Launchpad, and there it is. It changed. So now you can see here is the app running against the ES4 system. We registered the task processing service using HCP ODP.